So you got this young white woman that's complaining online about the brothers, saying that she has regretted her decision. Now, I want you to hear what this young white woman's going to say, but it's a little bit more deeper in layer than what she is actually saying. Let's go ahead and check that out.
So do y'all know that phrase, once you go black, you never go back? Yeah. That actually means once you go black, you never actually go back to them. Okay, that's what that means, because I've been with nothing but black men my entire life, and I can honestly say, worst decision ever. Okay, if I could go back in time, I would. And that's something I would definitely change, is being with a black man. Okay, my dad used to always tell me, you need to be with a white man, you need to have white kids, blah, blah, blah. And I would always be like, no, because I liked black men, but I should have listened. So if you are a white girl and you're considering being with a black man, I would honestly think long and hard about that one.
This video is making its rounds on TikTok, and I looked at I found the original page. Now, she has some black kids. Okay, just to give you a little bit background on her, she took the video down. But this is the thing: when you put something up on the internet, it's there forever. You understand? But here's the thing: what is she really saying? What is she really saying? So they have a thing within their particular community where if the white female get with a black man, then they kick them out of the proverbial white community. Now, the white male could be with a black woman, Asian woman, Hispanic, Indian woman, don't matter what woman it is. He is free to do whatever he wants, and he can be in the community. He's not ostracized. He's not kicked out. But when it comes to the white woman in particular, especially with a black man, they're not going to come back. So basically what she has done, she has made wrong decisions with black men. Obviously, she's made wrong decisions, because it's quite interesting that some sisters will say women like her are taking decent black men and don't leave them with certain options. So clearly she wasn't one of them white women. And I've always pushed back against that statement, because I'm like, bro, have you actually been out here and seen what some of these white women dealing with? Not all of them out here getting the dudes that's actually worth anything. They picking the same bums that some of the sisters have picked too. I mean, everybody's picking everybody equally. That's just what I've seen, from the scrubs to the decent dudes. That's what I've beyond with you. So clearly she hasn't picked the right one. So she feels that, you know what? I would like to go back to the white community and get me a white man and maybe build my life from there. But they look at them kids and it's like, nah, you can't come back here. You was over there with them black folks, you stay over there. And here's the thing: if you making those decisions, then that come along with it. On top of that, she said that she should listen to her daddy. I think you should have to. I really think you should have listened to your father. Why? Because y'all go through a whole lot of things that you're not ready for. You know how many stories I've covered over the years that you want to take those black children to a white community, and then they deal with so much racism. Oh, they deal with so much racism because you think you can take those black kids and put them in those lily white environments. And it doesn't work that way. In your culture, there's a lot of anti-black racism. But what some young ladies like you do, you want to rebel against your father and go after the brothers. Now, there's some white women that they love the black community. They don't want nothing to deal with even the white community. They got black friends. They boyfriend or husband is black. They don't want nothing to do with them, right? Now, those kind of white women, that's different. I've seen them, but clearly you wasn't one of them. So you should have listened to your daddy and stayed over there with him. Realistically, that's your community. I mean, especially listen, black people and white people, we got a messy history, okay? Our cultures is 100% opposite of each other. Yes, we're in the same country and all of that, but it's completely opposite. It's going to be some tension. It's going to be some beef, even for a black man. If a black man get a white woman, it's going to be a lot of times black people going to maybe look at him side-eye too. So it's not just on your side. It's on that side too. Now, maybe, he'd get a pass here and there if the woman's like maybe Asian or maybe she's Arab or, something else, right? But if it's a white woman, he may get some pushback, especially if he is successful. He really may get some pushback. That's within our own community dynamic, right? But when it comes to you and your community dynamic, you can't go back. So you on the side that you chose. Don't get on TikTok saying something, telling white women, oh, don't fool with them. Listen, like I said, I really support what you just said personally, though, because it cuts down on a lot of confusion. No, listen to me. It cuts down on confusion because y'all never ready with them kids. It's all fun and games until you got kids. Because the first thing y'all do, y'all say, my kids are mixed. And in our community, we don't use that word. To me, when I hear mixed, I don't think of human beings. And y'all love that word mixed. Y'all love that word biracial. And good and well in America, your community is not going to look at those kids as white kids. They will never accept those children as white children. In this country, they're going to say, they black, they go over there. They do not come over here. I don't care if you're their mother. They are not over here. So you want to raise them the way you were raised, but you don't understand what that child is going to go through, in which that makes you selfish in many ways. If you're going to have a child with a black man, you need to be staying with that black man. And if you pick the wrong black man, that's on you. Because I tell you what, you get with a white guy, you pick the same kind of white guy. Because one thing I know about people have patterns. It's not even about the color of people, it's just your patterns. If you pick a messed up guy here, you'll pick a messed up white guy, Asian guy, Hispanic guy. You just picking wrong. Now, as you get older, as you get evolved, you'll start, I don't need to pick that kind of person. And then you change. That happens for men and women. No matter about nobody's color. People evolve, people change. But you sat up here and had children. And maybe you got some rough issues with their daddy. I don't know. That's what it sounded like to me. Because if it was a good situation, you wouldn't be on here talking like that. But yes, I think you probably need to stay more. Well, of course, with these kids, you really can't. But for the other ones, stay more with your community. To stay with them. Because it just brings up a lot of unnecessary problems, at least in this country. I can't speak on other countries, but I can speak on this one. With black people, we trying to, then let's say like even in our community, let's say they're raised with a white mama, they're going to have to make some sort of decision. And it's kind of almost unfair for them too at times to make a decision, because I know why we say, hey, make a decision, because when the rubber meets the road and it's time to get down, are you going to side with white supremacy, or you going to side with us as black people and fight against it? That's why people tell you, hey, where you stand? And you say, well, I don't want to take a side. I'm both. That's not what we're asking you. When to get down, who are you going to choose? Well, like, what are you going to do? And that's really a protection mechanism that Black America has to use, because we don't want somebody within our midst that's like will be a turncoat or in our midst and trying to bring back information and all of that. So they because you'll hear them say, well, I wasn't black enough for black people and I wasn't white enough for white people. No, on the black people side, basically, let me use somebody like Lotto, right? And it's not how Lotto talk or whatever, but Lotto's made her decision, basically, okay? So when you come up to Lotto, you say, oh, shit, what's up, Lotto? What's up, sis? Like that. That's kind of conversation you're going to have with her. But if Lotto was on this, well, I don't know. I'm both. I'm whatever. She wouldn't have been accepted with black people. That I would have told you. She would have not been accepted. Because you're going to have to take a stand one way or another. And in this country, something going to happen where you're going to have to take a stand. So that's why I would say to white women, you really need to think long and hard before you have children with black men in particular. I know your counterparts can have children with black women all day long, but y'all got to solve that unequal balance in your own community. That's not our issue to solve. It's not. I just focus more on the children. And also I say to brothers, back in the Gap, there was a rule. Hey, you do what you do with them, whatever. You clapping cheeks and all that with them, that's fine. Don't impregnate them. The old rule was you impregnate and marry the sisters, but don't impregnate them. Don't do that. And some of these new dudes are doing things a lot different. And that's why some of these kids, a lot of times, especially without the dad around, they grow up confused because they being treated black, but at home, the mama trying to raise them like they're white. And it just don't work. It creates a lot of confusion for those children. And I feel bad for those children. I really do. Especially because sometimes they go through the racism in them white enclaves. They go through it. They'll take those children, put them in a 1% to 2% black town with only 1-2% black people. And then they going through it at that school. They are going so through it. And instead of their white parent understanding I have a black child in here, and at minimum, I need to get in a diverse community where it's everybody, or a more black community. And the thing is, black people are welcoming. We not a bad people. We welcome everybody as long as you're cool. But they don't think that way. And that's always been my biggest issue, is you putting those kids in situations where it could be harm to them. So no, you can't go back to your community. That's a decision you made. So don't get online crying about it, and talking about I should have listened to my dad. Let me tell you about that situation too. And it's not just her or her community. What happens with a lot of you young people? Your parents try to tell you things because we've been through it. We've seen things already, and you think you know everything. We try to tell you, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Hey, watch out for this, watch out for that. And y'all think y'all know, and y'all just blow us off. You know what I'm saying? And then you have an experience, and then you're like, oh, man, now I see what you're talking about. But as parents, we don't want to see you go through anything, whatever it may be. Trust me, when you have grown kids, they do not want to listen to you. They think you don't know anything. Because they just got to go out there and experience it themselves. And I guess that's what your dad tried to prevent for you, and you didn't listen. So now that's a life you have to lead. But I know you want to be back in your community where it's a lot easier for you, at least for now. You want the privileges that come along with your community. I know. But you can't get that because you got them children. Don't date anybody black unless you want to be out on the outs. And I always tell brothers, you need to be careful making children, leaving those children with those white women too, because that's on y'all. You can prevent having a child. You ain't got to just impregnate everybody you see. You leaving that child without you there. Now, if you want to be with her, but stay there. So that child can get some proper upbringing and understand, his or her blackness. But you abandon them little women and go on by your business. At least with a black woman, the child is still going to get a black upbringing. But with them, that child going to be in some sort of issue eventually. And that's what you brothers got to definitely prevent. Care about your seed, brothers.